Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste, sir.
Ma'am, Telangana government want to reduce the traffic. That's why we are building flyovers and underpasses. Then why are you file a petition in Supreme Court?
Correct. So my issue is not with flyovers. My issue is not with the traffic. My issue is simply about the one most precious space we have called a national park, right? So the national park lawfully is protected by a EAZ, which is the eco-sensitive zone, which is that space which absorbs the shock from the city to the park. So all I'm saying is, can we maintain the integrity and the lawfully correct way of declaring the eco-sensitive zone? Because the way it has been declared now kind of is irrational, because it doesn't follow any scientific principles. There is a law which says there has to be a minimum eco-sensitive zone, and this has been reduced to accommodate flyovers. Do flyovers come first? There are flyovers everywhere. Have the flyovers solved the traffic problem? No. So will this flyovers solve the traffic problem? And even if it solves the traffic problem, first of all, there is no traffic study proving that it will solve the traffic problem. Even if it solves the traffic problem, are we willing to make it at the expense of the only national park we have, which has been repeatedly called in all official documents as the lungs of the city? Are we willing to compromise on the lungs of a city for a flyover project which doesn't have a traffic study, which doesn't have any detailed project report in the public domain? So all I'm saying is, development is done in a phase manner, it's done with blueprints, it's done with plans, it's done with explanation and public involvement. There is no accountability for what you are calling development. Give us accountability and tell us how the development and the ecology can coexist, rather than asking us to choose between one and the other. That's all.
Okay, ma'am. We now lot of past 10 to 15 years, the people are fighting. The nature lovers are fighting about the eco-sensitive zone distance. That means 35 to 35 meters. Few years back, the government. Previous government declared as 29.8 meters as a eco-sensitive zone. Right now, the Telangana government want to build flyovers. This government is following the norms of the eco-sensitive zone, and they are also cutting the trees of the circle of entire KBR Park. This is the rules our government is following or not?
So there is a very clear High Court order which says you cannot cut trees in the eco-sensitive zone. And when it says eco-sensitive zone, it means the broader one, right? Because the current eco-sensitive zone is disputed. And why would the High Court say do not cut trees in the eco-sensitive zone till in the next hearing, where you are supposed to submit the public hearing documents? Clearly, it means that first prove your case that the disputed eco-sensitive zone is the right one, and then cut the trees after this clarification on what is the eco-sensitive zone is got. Without getting that clarification, by violating a stay order, I don't know what we are trying to achieve. 1,500 trees have gone, and my only hope is now with the new Supreme Court stay order, more trees won't go. We'll be able to protect the actual walkway trees, and hopefully, these trees, we will all work and we will grow them back at some point. 10 years, at least there'll be a decent canopy on the medians that we can hope for. And in 30 years, maybe everything will be back to normal is our only hope.
ఏదైతే తెలంగాణ ప్రభుత్వం హైదరాబాద్లో ట్రాఫిక్ని తగ్గించాలని చెప్పి కేబీఆర్ పార్క్ చుట్టూ, ఏదైతే జూబ్లీ హిల్స్, ఈ నానక్ రూమ్ కూడా ఈ చుట్టూ కేబీఆర్ పార్క్ చుట్టూ దాదాపు 7 ఫ్లైఓవర్స్ అలాగే 7 అండర్ పాసెస్ను కూడా నిర్మించాలని చెప్పి ప్లాన్ అయితే చేసింది. అయితే దానికి ఏదైతే ఈ కేబీఆర్ పార్క్ చుట్టూ ఏదైతే ఎకో సెన్సిటివ్ జోన్ ఉంది, దాని నుంచి ఇవి పోతున్నాయి, దానివల్ల పర్యావరణానికి నష్టం జరుగుతుంది, దీన్ని ఆపివేయాలని చెప్పి చాలామంది పర్యావరణ ప్రేమికులు కూడా దీనిపైన ప్రొటెస్ట్ చేస్తూ వచ్చారు. ఇక దానికి అనుగుణంగా నిన్న సుప్రీంకోర్టు కూడా ఒక స్టే ఆర్డర్ అయితే ఇచ్చింది. ఈ జూన్ 27 వరకు ఈ పనులను ఆపివేయాలని చెప్పి ఆ స్టే అయితే చెప్తుంది. ఇంతకీ ఎందుకు ఈ యొక్క అభివృద్ధి పనులను ఆపుకుంటున్నారు, ఈ ఎకో సెన్సిటివ్ జోన్లో ఈ చెట్లను తీసివేయడం వల్ల ఎటువంటి హైదరాబాద్కు నష్టం జరిగే అవకాశం ఉంది అని మరిన్ని వివరాలు మనతో చెప్పడానికి పర్యావరణ ప్రేమికురాలు నటాషా గారు మనతో ఉన్నారు. వారిని అడిగి మరిన్ని వివరాలు తెలుసుకుంటారు. నమస్తే మేడం.
Namaste. So I am a volunteer with the Save KBR movement. So it is basically we are protesting against the proposal to construct flyovers and underpasses within the eco-sensitive zone of the national park. So as we know, every national park it's called a national park because it has old biodiversity. It is important ecologically. It is also important because it regulates temperature, it regulates water, it regulates air pollution. For all practical purposes, it is like the heart and lungs of the city, KBR Park. And once the flyovers come within the eco-sensitive zone, it will affect the park and it will reduce in shrinkage of the biodiversity, which will have an adverse effect on the climate in the city. So that is really what we are protesting against. We had a stay order from the Supreme Court yesterday, where it has been clearly stated that till the next hearing, there will be no tree felling within the 25 to 35 meter radius of the KBR National Park. It is our request that this whole project be reconsidered because we are talking about traffic, but flyovers and underpasses don't solve traffic problems. In every city in the world and in India, we have seen whenever a flyover has come up, the traffic has just been, the bottleneck has just been shifted. And while it may seem immediately that travel time has reduced, within a 5-year study, and this is a study, a traffic study, that within 5 years of the inauguration of any flyover, 90% of the carrying capacity of the flyover is reached. So maximum 5 years from now, we will anyway have the same number of traffic jams. And what is worse is we would have by then also lost KBR Park. So our appeal to the government is look at other modes of transportation, improve public transportation network, the number of buses, ensure there are feeder services so none of us have to walk more than 300 meters to get a bus or a train or a metro. And yes, there are some people who will continue using their cars, and we are not telling them not to use their cars. All we are saying is, if there is reliable public transport network, many people will shift to using that, and then the roads will get empty and people with their cars can still enjoy the road. So that is really our submission to the government.
Ma'am, but the government is saying Hyderabad is a heavy traffic city, so lot of people are using their personal vehicles. So reduce the traffic or reduce the pollution. We are building such flyovers or such underpasses. Then this is the problem. We are developing the state or we are developing the capital city. So why are you people interrupting this development? What do you?
So why are people using private vehicles? They are using it, whether it is a two-wheeler or whether it is a car. People are using it because there is no reliable public transport. So for instance, I live 2 kilometers from the press club. If I want to take the metro, I have to actually walk 2.5 kilometers because the nearest metro station is 1.5 kilometers away and Iram Manzil station is 600 meters away. It is easier to just walk. If I want to take a bus, the nearest bus stop is 1.5 kilometers away. So I have to take an auto or I have to walk 2 kilometers. So that is why I took an auto and came here today, because I was in a hurry and I had to do it. So that is really our submission. Once there is good public transport, people will use it. My father-in-law is 75 years old, and when he lives in Delhi, when he has to go from South Delhi to North Delhi, he always takes the metro, because why do you want to spend time driving across the city looking for parking and then trying to come back? It is much easier to get into the metro. So it is only when a good public transport system is developed that people will start shifting. Again, I'm not saying everybody will shift, but if enough people shift, transportation, the roads will get emptier. For instance, Financial District has so many people working. Which is the nearest metro station? Raidurg. Raidurg to Financial District, is there a feeder bus service? There is not. So people have to take an auto from there to Financial District. We know how the traffic jam there is. So the whole thing is improve public transport, give last mile connectivity. In a developed city, nobody should be more than 300 meters away from a point where they can get a bus or a train. If we ensure that, then people will shift to public transport, and then the number of cars and private vehicles will go down. So